Hi, Coach Ed Sharr here with sports psychologist Dr. Jeff Laubach. And we're going to talk about what can student athletes do now during this timeout period. First question, Jeff. How can we galvanize our athletes mentally, physically, and spiritually so they can become one body, ready for the next step?
Hi, Coach Sharr. Thanks for the questions. I think first off, in this time of uncertainty and a time when everybody's life is a little bit different than it normally is, we want to try to stick to the routines that we're familiar with. Try to get up and go to bed at a reasonable time. Get dressed for the day, even if you're not going anywhere. The simple things that we would do on any normal day, we want to keep doing because they make life seem a little bit more normal at the moment. Simple things. Are you drinking enough water? What are you eating? I know I found that, every time I walk through the kitchen, it's easy to pick up a cookie or a brownie or something else that someone has baked, and that's not helping me. So trying to stay to healthful foods and things that are going to take care of myself. Continue to be active. Can you go outside? Go outside every day if you can, at least 30 minutes. If not, open the windows and get a breeze blowing through the room. Fresh air does wonders for us, and it's something we all need at the moment. Some other things to think about. Communicate with other people. Just because you're isolated doesn't mean that you have to be alone. Technology today is absolutely wonderful. If two old guys like us can pull off this kind of video, being kind of technological idiots, then I think those younger than us are probably even at a greater advantage. So use the tools that we have today to reach out to other people and communicate with other people. Of course, the flip side of that is maybe limit your access to the news. How many updates do you really need each day? One seems reasonable, or one every other day seems reasonable. But if you sit in front of the TV watching the news all day long, you can't help but feel more anxious and out of sorts about what's going on. Get the information you need, but that's all you need. Find someone to help in whatever way you can. Again, reach out to someone that might be lonely. If you have an elderly neighbor, is there anything you can do for them? Is there any grocery shopping you can do for them? Some simple tasks. But helping other people is what this has all been about. And it's wonderful to see what people are doing. And another thing that I've been talking to a lot of people about is find something new to do. Learn a new skill. Pick up a new hobby. We're going to talk in a minute about enhancing the things you're already doing. But why not learn something new if you've got the time? So I think some of those things are very simple, but if you incorporate them all together, they have a powerful effect on how we get through the day and leave us feeling a little bit more whole and like we're functioning like more normal human beings.
Second question. John Wooden said, "Don't let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do." So the question is, how can we be orderly in working out and making up our mindset?
So when we look at the research, there's two things that consistently we find when we compare people at the most elite level of their sport and those just under them. One is the amount of time that they practice. There's just a reality that the more time you practice, the better you're going to get. The other is an athlete's ability to overcome adversity, to deal with a failure, to deal with something that wasn't expected. So at the moment, we have the perfect opportunity to practice both of those things. There is a reality that even as I'm sitting here in the chair, I could be dribbling a basketball. I could be working on my ball handling skills. I could have a ball in my hand all day long, just about. So practice the simple fundamentals that are so important to your game. Find a hoop somewhere. If you don't have one in your backyard, there's hopefully one close by that's not in a park that's, locked up at the moment. Work on your fundamentals and practice them as often as you can. And practice them with intent. Don't just go through the motions, but set little goals for yourself. Okay, I'm going to touch the ball 50 times, 100 times. I'm going to make, this many baskets. Just short little specific goals, but use that to motivate yourself to do something every day. Rest assured that there are people out there who are taking advantage of this time to practice, hoping that you're not, right? At some point, play is going to resume. And I think it'll be clear when we look at those that used this time to continue to work on their skills, to keep their skills sharp, versus those who didn't, who took this time to relax, which is important, but didn't work on their skills at the same time. So it's simple, and it's hard to do, but motivate yourself. Little goals. Work with a friend, work with a teammate. Set little goals with yourselves. Use FaceTime, use Skype, use ways to communicate with each other. Come up with little competitions. How many push-ups did you do? How many sit-ups did you do? I can do one more, right? So still use each other to support each other, but also push each other to do the best that you can.
Third question. Goals are very important for student athletes, and they set them in the preseason, postseason, and now in the off-season time. Can you tell us how we can set our priorities and our goals for being in shape, working on our particular sport?
So here's the thing about goals. It's meant to be a very active process, right? They're meant to be revisited. They're meant to be crossed out, scribbled over, rewritten. So many of us, we write our goals at the beginning of the season. They're great. We throw them in the drawer. We never pull them out and look at them again. So if you're goal setting in the best possible way, this is no different. Okay, every once in a while I have to revisit the plan. This is a case where we need to revisit the plan, right? Things have changed, expectations have changed, the reality of what we're able to do has changed. So it doesn't mean that we have to scrap our goals, but we have to look at the things that we have control over that move us towards our goals, right? If your goal is to make sure you attend practice 4 days a week, well, you can't do that right now because you can't attend practice. Here are the things that I can do to identify skills that I need to improve, and how can I break them down and work on them to the best of my ability, right? And that process is going to look different for everybody, right? Part of that is going to depend on what's next for you. There is a reality that we will return to play at some point. For some of you, if this is your senior year, I recognize this might be your last opportunity to play in the way that you were accustomed to playing, but it doesn't mean you're never going to play basketball again, right? So you modify your goals based upon the information you have right now and what you think is going to happen. In 2 days or next week or next month, you might have to cross that all out and start over. But it's still moving you towards the end result of how do I improve my skills? What do I do to get better at what I'm doing?
Don't let this quarantine time hold you back from working out. When the buzzer goes off, make sure you're ready. If you have any questions or comments about this email, please contact me at 610-659-HOOP or email coach@hoopsacademy.org, and Jeff and I will get to your questions. Have a great day.